Qatar says it's hoping to secure a truce between Israel and Hamas before the end of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. But there's little indication fresh efforts would bear fruit. Our talks have hit multiple snags, with Doha saying both sides were, quote, nowhere near a deal. Further incidents of violence are not helping. Israeli police say a 15-year-old Palestinian has been killed after the boy stabbed and wounded 2 security personnel at a checkpoint outside Jerusalem. And just a day earlier, Israeli border police shot and killed a 13-year-old Palestinian. They said he had been aiming fireworks at them. The uptick in violence has raised fears of further unrest during Ramadan. Israeli authorities are now calling for calm, saying they will do everything to ensure freedom of worship while maintaining the safety of citizens. For more, Alex Cadier joins us live from Jerusalem. Alex, walk us through this latest spike in the violence, and can we expect further unrest as Ramadan continues?
Yeah, you're absolutely right to pose that question. And it is really the feeling here in Jerusalem, that risk of escalation, those simmering tensions are really palpable across this city. As you mentioned, those 2 incidents just in the last 24 hours, that 13-year-old boy, we understand, was part of a group of boys that had been firing fireworks at Israeli border police. This one 13-year-old in particular was shot and killed by those border police officers that you see all over the city and around Jerusalem, and about 10 kilometers south of here, 6 miles south of here at that checkpoint. Just in the last few hours, that Palestinian killed after having stabbed a security guard, we understand, a 25-year-old security guard and a 19-year-old military police officer, both of which sustaining minor injuries. But these flashpoints, these individual incidents, build up to a real sense, as Ramadan is now ongoing, the holy month of Ramadan is now ongoing, that this city could continue to build up tension, that more of these incidents could be seen. We heard from Kobi Shabtai, who's the police commissioner for Israel, saying that there was clearly an increase in tension, saying that his forces would do everything they can to maintain order and to maintain the freedom of worship. But the sense you have in Jerusalem, particularly walking around this city where border police are really everywhere, checkpoints are everywhere, heavily armed police across this city, you get a sense that in the next few days, particularly as we look towards the first Friday prayers of Ramadan, the tensions could certainly get a lot worse.
Yeah, and all that, Alex, while 6 trucks have entered northern Gaza as part of that pilot aid project. Now, is the aid corridor expected to perhaps remain open, or is the situation just too volatile for regular aid to resume?
Is exactly how you should act against terrorists, determination.
Well, it's certainly a very difficult question to answer specifically when it comes to that pilot program. We understand it was 6 trucks that went in through this road built by the IDF, and that the government officials, Israeli government officials, will review the results of this pilot program. But when you think that aid agencies say that Gaza needs 500 trucks to sustain itself on an ongoing daily basis, the idea of a 6-truck pilot program really won't make much of a difference to those needs of the 500,000 Palestinians in Gaza that the UN says are on the verge of famine. And certainly the attention will be also on that maritime corridor, which could possibly allow for much bigger supplies, much bigger scale of supplies flowing into Gaza. We know that ship has left Cyprus and is about halfway to Gaza now, but this pilot program, again, it's hard to tell exactly what the impact of that will be. We know that the friction point, the real friction point for aid getting into Gaza by land, is those checkpoints by Israeli security officials checking all of the trucks going in. We've heard last week from Israelis who wanted to bring aid and food supplies to Gaza, who were stopped by Israeli officials, not able to get that food through either. So certainly that friction point by road remains a problem. That's why the alternative of the maritime corridor was put forward. But certainly time is clearly of the essence because of that humanitarian catastrophe on the ground in Gaza.
Well, reporting live from Jerusalem, Alex Cadier. Thank you.